thank you so much for joining me. To start off with, please can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role at Moderna?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Nicolas Chornet. I'm Senior Vice President of International Manufacturing. I'm based in Basel. I'm currently focusing in manufacturing expansions in some key projects where we're building new sites in different countries in the world, and also basically managing the international supply. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And can you tell me a bit more about your current role, how you got into it, and what excites you most?
Oh, okay. Well, I started with Moderna in 2019 in Norwood in Boston. At a time where there was no pandemic, and there the company was much smaller. We had about 400 people. We had just completed the building of a new site. It was the first site for Moderna, a very bold investment, as Moderna was didn't have that much cash back then, really, money. But it was necessary, to start managing our own clinical trials and production. And I started there, completing the building, and also starting the first manufacturing organization. And then the pandemic arrived, and we used our platform, which we're using for different clinical trials, but notably the individualized neoantigen therapy was in clinical phase 1, and we used that technology to start producing the first batches for the clinical trials of the COVID vaccine, and then we scaled up very quickly to manufacturing size. And after we produced the first batches, the pandemic became what it became internationally. There was a high demand outside of the United States, so I moved to Basel. I was the first employee there in August, and we built the team very fast and started expanding the industrial footprint via CMOs and partnerships. And a few months later, we started supplying also internationally the first vaccine. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And in terms of moving over there and sort of setting up that facility, can you kind of share some of the experience and lessons, what it was like?
Well, it was an interesting time. If we all rewind to 2020 in August, things were closing down. A lot of the work was being done remote. Part of the organization was hired remotely also via team interviews, and these type of tools, and we had high level confidence in our technology, in our scale up, in our ability to move towards manufacturing. In the same time, there was also a bit of anxiety of what's going to happen in the next year or so in the world. So it was an interesting time, and when we learned tremendously through this transfer, basically. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you're speaking here at CPHI on a panel as well about future therapies. I just wondered if you could share some key takeaways for people that aren't at the show today.
Absolutely. I was on two panels. One was focused more on mRNA and the pandemic, and I think there's some key elements that we discussed, and this for Moderna is the power of our platform. So we have a technological platform really that supports our therapies from early development all the way down to commercialization and large batches and then supply, and that's giving us tremendous flexibility, tremendous speed. And this platform is not just a one pathogen or one disease or a pandemic platform, but it's actually, our versatile platform that can apply to all the therapies that are coming. So I think this was a key takeaway of that discussion. And then we had just now a very interesting discussion on rare diseases. That's an area that has always been challenging for drug development. But in a certain way, this is kind of the new frontier. There's more and more work being done in rare disease therapy developments, and Moderna is also one of the key players in there. So we're leveraging our platform, our speed of development, our mRNA technology really to target specific therapies around enzyme deficiencies or enzyme absences. And we're projecting that in the next 5 years, we will launch 4 new rare diseases therapies. So it's quite exciting, and it's an area that is seeing a lot of focus from Moderna and also from many other companies and research groups.
So let's stick on mRNA. Obviously, we've had the COVID vaccine, but I wondered if you could talk more broadly about some of the challenges of developing mRNA drug products.
Sure. So we've learned tremendously through the pandemic. This allowed us to fine-tune our platform, to fine-tune our processes, and then we feel confident we can develop and also leverage our platform here to bring new therapies in multiple different indications, whether it's oncological, whether it's rare diseases, whether it's infectious diseases or others. But so we that's an area that's we're leveraging strongly. For us, it's continuing to expand and to in a certain way to solidify our international footprint. So today we're building new sites, one in UK, one in Canada, one in Australia. We also have other projects ongoing. And to have this, as our international global industrial platform, and then continuing our strong partnership with the local authorities. I think we developed from early on in the pandemic a great collaboration and partnership with health authorities. This is continuing, and of course, this I think in the future is going to be critical to the success of bringing mRNA therapies in the world.
Fantastic. So you mentioned there that you're planning new facilities around the world, including a new centre in the UK.
Yes.
Can you please give us a bit of an update on the progress at that site and the future plans?
Sure. I was just there about a week and a half ago in Harwell. It's a beautiful campus. It's very nice what the group is doing there and attracting a lot of biotech and pharma companies. So it'll be a nice hub, I think, for the future. Our site is the construction is progressing well. We are at the stage now where the infrastructure's there, and we're paneling and all these engineering facility terms. But we're also building the organization. So I'm building the team there, the organization, and it's starting to recruit quite a bit. And also we have the R&D laboratory that is advancing very fast. So that will be a center for us of production, but also of drug development also, and potentially clinical trial management also. Yeah.
And in terms of the facility there in the UK, we're hearing a lot here over the last couple of days about like new technologies and innovations. I wonder if you could speak a bit about, the facility itself.
Absolutely. So the facility will be cutting edge. We'll have all the latest technology and platform technology that we've developed. From early on, Moderna has always integrated a lot of digital processes and digital systems in our manufacturing processes and early manufacturing processes also. This is continuing. So the facility will be equipped with a lot of digital and robotics, and also we'll leverage, of course, with the digital, all the artificial intelligence and this type of approach, So I think it's going to be a very modern, latest technology. It's a good opportunity for UK also, I think, to get the latest and the greatest, I think, in biotech, and also importantly, it will be expandable also to all the future progresses that we see in mRNA processing. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. And you said that you're building the team there
Yes.
at the site, and I just wondered like if you could give a bit of an overview about like the skills and within the industry and.
Sure, sure. And that's an interesting discussion to always have, because one of the differences with mRNA processing is that with little amount of volumes of mRNA, you can make a lot of product. So if we think about the COVID batches, so our scale was at about 200 grams of mRNA, right, in the IVT. So 200 grams of mRNA at a 100 microgram dose. Initially, we were at 100 micrograms. This is 2 million vaccines, minus a little bit of yields and things like this. So, and that fits in a small box. So the traditional operations that are large scale, big tanks, a lot of space, a lot of people, you don't see in mRNA. So we'll have a good amount of volume capacity, but the operation will stay around 70 to 80 people, highly specialized individuals, from engineers to operators to analysts, supply chain management folks that also can interface and work very well with our digital interfaces and systems. And the same thing then in R&D. So in R&D also there's a good group that will be hired, and that is currently being hired also to conduct more of the development. So overall we're talking about 150, 160 people. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And I've got a final question for you, and it's a question we've been asking a lot of people here today and over the past few days. So what do you think will be the most significant innovation to impact the pharma industry in the next 3 to 5 years?
Good question. The crystal ball question. Hey, I think we're seeing a very strong trend right now with artificial intelligence and digital and all the industries, and not just biotech, but everywhere. It's a race to incorporate and to leverage as much as possible the digital systems that are currently existing and being developed. So I think if I look at 5-10 years from now, our way of processing will be different. We will highly leverage algorithms and artificial intelligence, and that will give way to more efficiency, leaner processes, better decision making, and more opportunities, I think, to bring new therapies to the people.